There is a quiet power in a calm heart. A calm heart does not rush, it does not beg, and it does not chase what is not meant to stay. It understands something that the restless mind often forgets, that life has its own rhythm, its own timing, and its own mysterious way of delivering what belongs to you. Many people spend their lives in a hurry. They hurry to prove themselves, hurry to gain approval, hurry to force opportunities that were never theirs. In that hurry, they exhaust their spirit. They forget that the most meaningful things in life rarely arrive through force. They arrive through patience, preparation, and quiet faith. When you stay calm, you begin to understand that not every delay is a denial. Sometimes life is simply arranging things behind the scenes. Sometimes the door has not opened yet because you are still growing into the person who can walk through it with grace. The universe has a remarkable way of balancing what we give and what we receive. Every act of kindness you offer, every effort you make, every moment you spend improving yourself is never truly lost. It becomes part of the invisible path that leads you toward the life meant for you. But the trouble begins when impatience enters the heart. Impatience whispers that you are falling behind. It convinces you that everyone else is winning while you are waiting. It pushes you to doubt your worth and question your journey. Yet comparison is a thief of peace. When you compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20, you forget that every story unfolds at a different pace. Some flowers bloom early in the spring, while others take their time and bloom in the warmth of summer. Neither is wrong. Both are simply following their nature. Calmness allows you to trust that your life is unfolding exactly as it should. It gives you the courage to focus on what you can control, your growth, your attitude, and your actions, while releasing the need to control everything else. There will be moments when life tests your patience. You will work hard and see little reward. You will give your best and feel overlooked. You will believe that your efforts are disappearing into silence. But nothing that is genuine ever disappears. Seeds planted in good soil do not grow overnight. Beneath the surface, where no one can see, roots are forming. Strength is developing quietly in the darkness. Your journey is often like that seed. While others may only see stillness, something powerful is happening within you. Character is being built, wisdom is being shaped, and when the time is right, growth becomes visible in ways that surprise everyone, including you. The truth is that what truly belongs to you will never require you to abandon your peace in order to receive it. The right opportunities will not demand that you shrink your values. The right people will not force you to prove your worth again and again. When something is meant for you, it will recognize the effort you have made to become your best self. It will arrive not as chaos, but as a quiet confirmation that the patience you practiced was not in vain. There is a deep dignity in a person who knows how to wait without bitterness. That kind of patience does not come from weakness. It comes from strength. It comes from the understanding that chasing every possibility only scatters your energy. A calm spirit chooses carefully where to invest time, love, and attention. It understands that energy is precious and should not be wasted on things that constantly disturb your peace. You may have experienced moments when people walked away from your life unexpectedly. Perhaps friendships faded. Perhaps opportunities slipped through your hands. Perhaps doors closed just when you thought they were about to open. In those moments, it is easy to believe that something has been taken from you. But sometimes life removes things not as punishment, but as protection. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Not every opportunity is meant to shape your future. Some experiences come only to teach you what you deserve and what you must never settle for again. When you remain calm through these changes, you begin to notice something beautiful. The things that leave create space for things that truly belong. Life cannot fill your hands with new blessings if you are still tightly holding on to what was never meant to stay. Calmness teaches you how to release with grace. It reminds you that your worth does not decrease simply because something ended. Your value is not defined by who chooses you or who overlooks you. Your value comes from the quiet integrity you carry within yourself, the way you treat others, the way you rise after disappointment, and the way you continue believing in your own growth. There is a quiet confidence that grows inside a person who stops chasing validation. When you no longer depend on applause from the outside world, you begin to hear a more important voice from within. That voice tells you to keep going. It reminds you that your path is unique and that your purpose cannot be measured by someone else's timeline. When you stay calm, you protect that inner voice. You give it space to guide you through moments of uncertainty. Calmness does not mean that life becomes easy. It means that you refuse to let every challenge steal your stability. There will always be storms. There will always be moments when things feel unfair or confusing, but a calm spirit knows that storms pass. Just as the sky clears after the rain, clarity often arrives after confusion. The answers you search for appear when you give yourself the patience to wait and the courage to keep moving forward. Trusting the universe does not mean sitting still and expecting miracles to fall into your hands. It means doing your work with honesty and dedication while letting go of the desperate need to control the outcome. You plant the seed, you water it, you care for it, but you do not stand over it every hour demanding it to grow faster. Growth has its own rhythm. The same is true for the dreams you carry inside your heart. You must nurture them with effort, discipline, and belief, but you must also allow time to do its quiet work. Many people abandon their dreams not because they lack ability, but because they lose patience. They expect success to arrive quickly, and when it doesn't, they assume the dream was never meant for them. Clears throat, but the greatest transformations often happen slowly. They happen in the quiet moments when no one is watching. They happen when you choose to keep improving even when recognition is absent. They happen when you refuse to give up on your growth simply because progress feels invisible. Calmness keeps you steady during those moments. It reminds you that your journey is not a race against others. It is a relationship between who you are today and who you are becoming. Each day you spend learning, healing, and strengthening yourself is a day invested in the future that belongs to you. Sometimes what you deserve arrives not in the form you expected, but in the form you needed. You may have prayed for success and received a lesson that made you stronger. You may have hoped for a certain person to stay only to discover later that their departure protected your peace. Life has a way of giving us exactly what we need for our growth, even when we do not recognize it at first. This is why calmness is such a powerful gift. It allows you to see beyond the moment. Instead of reacting with fear or frustration, a calm mind pauses and asks, "What is this moment teaching me?" That question opens the door to wisdom, and wisdom transforms ordinary experiences into valuable guidance for the future. The more calm you become, the more clearly you begin to see patterns in your life. You notice which situations bring you peace and which ones drain your spirit. You learn to step away from chaos and move toward environments that nurture your well-being. You begin to understand that protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. A peaceful mind is more creative. A peaceful heart is more compassionate. A peaceful spirit is more resilient. When you protect that peace, you create the conditions for your best life to grow. You also begin to attract people who respect that calm energy. People who value honesty, kindness, and emotional maturity feel comfortable around someone who does not live in constant turmoil. Peace recognizes peace, and slowly, without forcing anything, your life begins to fill with healthier connections, better opportunities, and deeper meaning. The universe often delivers what you deserve through the people you meet along the way. Some arrive as teachers, some arrive as companions, some arrive as mirrors who show you parts of yourself you had not yet discovered. Each encounter plays a role in shaping your journey. When you remain calm and open, you allow these connections to unfold naturally instead of forcing them. You learn that relationships built with patience and respect last far longer than those built from desperation or fear. Calmness also strengthens your relationship with yourself. You begin to appreciate your own company. You learn to listen to your thoughts without judging them. You discover that solitude can be a place of healing rather than loneliness. In those quiet moments alone, you reconnect with your dreams, your values, and your purpose. You realize that happiness does not come from constantly searching outside yourself. It grows from understanding who you are and honoring that truth. And once you reach that understanding, the universe seems to respond in remarkable ways. Opportunities appear at unexpected times. Doors open where you once saw walls. People enter your life who recognize your worth without needing to be convinced. These moments feel almost magical, but they are not accidents. They are the result of the inner work you have done, the patience you practiced, the peace you protected, and the growth you embraced. When you stay calm, you give life permission to surprise you with possibilities that rushing would have caused you to miss. You begin to trust that your efforts are being noticed by forces greater than your immediate circumstances. You understand that what you deserve cannot be permanently taken away by someone else's opinion, someone's temporary advantage, or someone's misunderstanding of your value. What is truly yours will find its way to you. And when it does, you will recognize it not because it arrives with noise and urgency, but because it fits your life with a quiet sense of rightness. It will not require you to betray your peace. It will not demand that you abandon your self-respect. Instead, it will feel like something that was patiently traveling toward you all along. So, remain calm even when the world encourages you to panic. Remain steady even when others rush past you in every direction. Continue doing your work with sincerity and faith. Continue growing, learning, and becoming the person your dreams require you to be, because the universe has a memory for effort, a respect for patience, and a remarkable ability to deliver what belongs to those who refuse to give up on their quiet strength. Calm people do not chase everything they see. They understand that energy is one of the most valuable resources a person has, and once it is scattered in too many directions, it loses its strength. While many people feel the pressure to run after every opportunity, every trend, every opinion, and every approval, the calm person quietly steps back and asks a more important question. Is this truly worthy of my time and attention? The world constantly encourages urgency. It tells people that if they are not doing more, gaining more, or proving more, they are somehow falling behind. This pressure makes many individuals move through life in a state of restlessness. They chase recognition, they chase relationships that do not respect them, and they chase goals that may not even belong to their true desires. But a calm person begins to see through that noise. They recognize that not everything that shines deserves to be pursued. Some opportunities arrive only to distract you from your deeper purpose. Some people enter your life not to support your growth, but to drain your peace. Some paths appear exciting at first, but eventually lead you far away from the life you truly want to build. Instead of reacting to every possibility, calm people observe carefully. They watch how situations unfold before committing their energy. They understand that every decision carries a cost, and that cost is often the time and focus that could have been invested elsewhere. Energy is not unlimited. Each day offers a certain amount of emotional strength, mental clarity, and physical ability. When someone spends that energy chasing everything, they end up exhausted without feeling fulfilled. Their attention becomes divided, their goals become unclear, and their progress becomes slow because they are moving in too many directions at once. Calm people choose a different approach. They simplify their focus. They identify the few things that truly matter to them and give those things the care and dedication they deserve. This does not mean they lack ambition. In fact, their ambition often becomes stronger because it is directed toward meaningful goals instead of scattered among endless distractions. They understand that real success is not about how many things you pursue, but about how deeply you commit to the things that truly align with your values. When someone learns to choose carefully where their energy goes, their life begins to feel more balanced. They stop feeling overwhelmed by constant demands because they no longer feel obligated to respond to everything. They learn the strength of saying no without guilt. They understand that every time they decline something that does not serve them, they create space for something better. This ability requires self-awareness. A calm person takes time to understand themselves. They pay attention to what brings them peace and what brings them tension. They notice which environments inspire their creativity and which ones drain their spirit. Over time, these observations become a guide. They help the person recognize where their energy naturally thrives. For example, a calm individual does not chase every friendship simply because it is available. They value connection, but they also value emotional safety. They prefer a few genuine relationships over many shallow ones. They invest their time in people who respect their boundaries and celebrate their growth. The same wisdom appears in their work and ambitions. Instead of trying to prove themselves in every possible direction, they identify the areas where their strengths can grow. They nurture those areas with patience and consistency. This focus allows their efforts to compound over time. While others may be constantly starting new things and abandoning them halfway, the calm person builds depth and mastery through steady commitment. Another reason calm people choose carefully is that they recognize the influence of their environment. Every conversation, every habit, and every responsibility shapes the direction of their life. If they allow themselves to chase everything, they risk becoming shaped by chaos instead of purpose. So, they guard their attention. They limit the distractions that constantly compete for their focus. They protect the quiet moments that allow their mind to think clearly. These moments of calm are not empty. They are spaces where reflection happens. They are moments where new ideas grow and deeper understanding forms. In those quiet spaces, a person begins to see life with greater clarity. They realize that many of the things people chase are driven by fear rather than genuine desire. Fear of missing out pushes people to say yes to things they do not truly want. Fear of being judged pushes people to pursue paths that impress others instead of fulfilling themselves. Calm people gradually free themselves from these fears. They understand that a meaningful life cannot be built on constant comparison. When someone stops measuring their journey against everyone else's, they become more confident in their own choices. They begin to trust their instincts. They learn that their intuition often knows when something is worth pursuing and when something should be left behind. This trust grows stronger with experience. Each time they choose wisely where to place their energy, they see the positive results. Their work becomes more focused. Their relationships become more genuine. Their mind becomes more peaceful. The calm person also understands that chasing everything often comes from the belief that opportunities are rare and must be grabbed immediately. But life repeatedly shows that new possibilities appear when someone is prepared to recognize them. Instead of rushing after every option, calm people spend their time becoming the kind of person who can recognize and receive the right opportunities when they appear. They strengthen their skills. They deepen their character. They build patience. Because when the right moment arrives, preparation meets opportunity. Their calm nature also influences the people around them. In a world where many individuals react quickly and emotionally, the calm person becomes a steady presence. Others notice the difference. They notice that this person does not become easily overwhelmed. They notice that decisions are made thoughtfully instead of impulsively. Quiet stability creates trust. People begin to rely on someone who carries that calm strength. It is not loud or dramatic. It does not demand attention, but it quietly shapes the atmosphere wherever that person goes. Over time, the calm individual discovers something powerful. The less they chase everything, the more the right things begin to find their way toward them. Because when energy is focused, it becomes magnetic. Effort becomes meaningful. Attention becomes intentional. The calm person is not distracted by every passing possibility. They are not constantly changing direction because someone else appears to be moving faster. Instead, they remain steady on the path they have chosen with awareness and purpose. They understand that a peaceful mind makes better decisions. A focused heart builds stronger relationships. A disciplined spirit creates deeper achievements. So they continue to move through life with patience, choosing carefully what deserves their energy, and quietly allowing everything else to pass by without disturbance. Character is not built in a single moment of success. It grows quietly in the background of everyday choices, in the small decisions a person makes when no one is watching. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, patience over anger, and discipline over comfort, you are shaping the foundation of your character. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time, they become the invisible strength that supports everything you achieve. Many people spend a great deal of their lives trying to open doors through force. They try to impress others with quick results, loud achievements, or temporary displays of confidence. But doors that truly matter in life rarely respond to pressure. They respond to trust, integrity, and consistency. These qualities cannot be faked for long because they come from within a person's character. When someone commits to strengthening their character, they begin a process of growth that touches every area of life. They become more aware of how their actions affect others. They begin to understand that reputation is not built through words alone, but through repeated behavior over time. People may listen to what you say, but they believe what you consistently do. A person with strong character does not change their values depending on the situation. They carry the same honesty whether they are speaking to a stranger or to someone in authority. They treat people with the same respect whether those people can offer them something or not. This consistency builds a quiet form of credibility that others recognize. Opportunities often come to those who are trusted. When people see reliability, fairness, and responsibility in someone's behavior, they feel comfortable giving that person greater responsibility. Trust opens doors that talent alone cannot unlock. Talent may attract attention, but character keeps the door open once it has been opened. Strengthening character also means learning from mistakes rather than hiding them. Everyone makes errors, but the way a person responds to those errors reveals the depth of their character. Someone who refuses to admit mistakes remains trapped by them. Someone who takes responsibility gains the chance to grow stronger. This willingness to learn creates maturity. Instead of blaming circumstances or other people, a person with strong character reflects on their own actions and asks how they can improve. This habit of reflection gradually sharpens judgment and wisdom. Another important part of character is discipline. Discipline is the ability to continue doing what is right even when it becomes difficult or uncomfortable. It means finishing tasks that no longer feel exciting. It means keeping promises even when circumstances change. Without discipline, good intentions often fade. Many people begin with enthusiasm, but lose momentum when challenges appear. A person who strengthens their character learns to continue moving forward despite those challenges. They understand that progress often requires persistence through periods of uncertainty. Over time, this persistence produces results that others begin to notice. While some people search constantly for shortcuts, the person focused on character accepts that meaningful achievements require time. Instead of rushing, they build carefully and steadily. This steady approach attracts opportunities in subtle ways. Employers look for individuals who can be trusted with responsibility. Friends seek companions who offer loyalty and honesty. Communities rely on individuals who demonstrate fairness and reliability. In each of these situations, character becomes a silent recommendation. Long before someone reads your resume or listens to your ideas, they observe how you treat others and how you respond to challenges. Character also strengthens resilience. Life inevitably brings moments of disappointment, failure, and uncertainty. Without strong character, these moments can lead to discouragement and withdrawal. But when someone has developed inner strength through discipline and honesty, they can face difficulties without losing direction. They may feel the weight of the struggle, but they do not allow that weight to define their future. They use adversity as a lesson rather than as a final verdict on their abilities. Another aspect of character is humility. Humility allows a person to recognize that growth never truly ends. No matter how much knowledge or success someone gains, there is always more to learn. This openness keeps a person adaptable. They remain curious about new ideas and willing to listen to perspectives different from their own. Humility creates space for continued improvement. At the same time, humility does not mean weakness. It means understanding that strength does not need constant validation. A humble person does not feel threatened by the success of others because they are focused on developing their own path. As character deepens, confidence begins to grow naturally. This confidence is different from because it is rooted in experience and self-knowledge. It does not depend on constant praise from others. A confident person with strong character can walk into new situations without feeling the need to prove themselves immediately. They trust that their actions over time will reveal who they are. This calm confidence often makes a powerful impression. People are drawn to individuals who carry themselves with quiet assurance. They sense the stability that comes from someone who knows their values and lives by them. Opportunities often appear in moments when preparation meets trust. A leader may recommend someone for a role because they have observed that person's integrity over time. A mentor may offer guidance because they recognize dedication and sincerity. These moments can seem sudden from the outside, but they are rarely accidental. They are the result of many unseen choices that gradually build a strong reputation. Strengthening character also shapes the way a person handles success. Without character, success can lead to arrogance or carelessness. With strong character, success becomes an opportunity to serve others and create positive influence. A person who remains grounded in their values does not allow achievement to distance them from the principles that guided them there. They remember the importance of fairness, gratitude, and responsibility. This balance ensures that success becomes sustainable. Instead of burning brightly for a short period, a life built on character continues to grow and contribute over time. People may admire talent or intelligence, but they deeply respect character. It represents reliability in a world where circumstances often change quickly. It represents integrity in situations where temptation may exist. The more a person invests in developing their character, the more their life begins to align with meaningful opportunities. Doors open because people recognize the trustworthiness behind the individual standing before them. These doors may appear gradually, sometimes in ways that are unexpected, but they tend to open more easily for someone whose actions consistently reflect honesty, discipline, humility, and resilience. Character becomes the quiet key that unlocks paths toward growth, responsibility, and deeper influence in the lives of others. There are moments in life when you feel a quiet certainty about something. It does not arrive with loud excitement or dramatic pressure. Instead, it comes with a sense of calm understanding, as if a piece of your life has gently fallen into the place where it was always meant to be. What is meant for your life often arrives in this way, with clarity and peace, rather than confusion and pressure. Many people grow up believing that important things must come with struggle and emotional chaos. They believe that love must be complicated to be real, that success must require constant anxiety, and that opportunities must demand endless proving of worth. Because of these beliefs, they sometimes remain in situations that disturb their peace simply because they assume difficulty is normal. But there is a difference between healthy effort and constant pressure. Effort is the work you willingly invest in something meaningful. Pressure is the weight that makes you feel like you must become someone else in order to be accepted. Effort strengthens you, while pressure slowly erodes your sense of self. When something truly belongs in your life, it does not require you to abandon your dignity. It does not demand that you silence your voice or ignore your instincts. Instead, it respects the person you are and allows you to grow naturally within it. Clarity is often the first sign. When the right path begins to reveal itself, your mind does not feel trapped in endless doubt. There may still be challenges, but those challenges feel purposeful rather than confusing. You understand why you are investing your time and energy, And that understanding gives you motivation. Confusion often appears when you are trying to force something that does not align with your values or your direction. Your mind becomes crowded with questions. You constantly wonder if you are doing the right thing or if you are simply trying to hold on to something that no longer fits your life. Peace, on the other hand, carries a quiet confidence. It allows you to move forward without feeling like you must constantly defend your choice. The path may still require patience and effort, but it does not create a feeling of emotional chaos. This sense of peace becomes especially important in relationships. A healthy relationship does not keep you in a constant state of fear about losing it. It does not make you feel like you must compete for attention or prove your worth every single day. Instead, it allows trust to grow gradually. Both people feel respected, heard, and valued. There is space for honesty and vulnerability because neither person is trying to control the other. When a relationship is meant to remain in your life, it tends to strengthen your sense of stability rather than weaken it. You feel encouraged to grow, to pursue your dreams, and to become the best version of yourself. The same principle applies to opportunities and goals. The right opportunity may challenge you, but it will not strip away your sense of balance. It will invite you to develop new skills and push your limits while still respecting your well-being. Many people confuse excitement with alignment. Excitement can be powerful, but it is often temporary. Something may feel thrilling at the beginning, yet slowly reveal itself to be exhausting or misaligned with your values. Clarity and peace tend to last longer than excitement. They create a steady sense of direction, rather than a brief surge of emotion. Learning to recognize this difference requires self-awareness. You must learn to listen carefully to your own thoughts and feelings. When you pay attention to how different situations affect your peace of mind, patterns begin to appear. You may notice that certain environments make you feel tense or uncertain. Conversations may leave you feeling drained or doubtful about yourself. Over time, these signals become easier to recognize. On the other hand, there are experiences that leave you feeling grounded, even when they require effort. They bring a quiet satisfaction because they align with your deeper values. The more you honor these signals, the more your life begins to move towards situations that support your well-being. This process also involves letting go of the belief that you must hold on to everything that enters your life. Some experiences are meant to be temporary. They teach you lessons that prepare you for something better. When something is not meant to stay, it often creates tension that becomes difficult to ignore. You may feel like you are constantly trying to repair something that refuses to settle into harmony. Letting go of such situations can feel frightening at first because uncertainty lies ahead. Yet many people discover that once they release what was causing confusion, a new sense of peace begins to appear. This peace creates space for clearer opportunities and healthier relationships to enter their lives. Another important aspect of clarity is alignment with your personal values. When your actions match your beliefs, life feels more stable. Decisions become easier because you are guided by principles rather than by temporary emotions or outside pressure. For example, someone who values honesty will feel uncomfortable in situations that require constant compromise of truth. Someone who values growth will naturally move toward environments that encourage learning and creativity. When opportunities match your values, they tend to bring both progress and peace. You can work hard without feeling like you are losing yourself. Pressure often arises when you try to maintain something that contradicts who you truly are. The effort required to keep that conflict hidden eventually becomes exhausting. A life built on clarity allows you to move forward with authenticity. You do not need to pretend to be someone else to keep your place in. This authenticity attracts people who appreciate the real version of you. Relationships formed in this way tend to be more stable because they are not based on appearances or expectations that cannot be maintained. Clarity also strengthens your decision-making. Instead of reacting to every opportunity with urgency, you learn to pause and evaluate whether it truly belongs in your journey. You begin asking questions that protect your peace. Does this path align with my values? Does it allow me to grow while remaining true to myself? Does it bring a sense of calm determination rather than overwhelming pressure? These questions gradually guide you toward choices that support your long-term well-being. Over time, you realize that life does not need to feel like a constant struggle for validation. The things that truly belong to your path often recognize you just as much as you recognize them. They appear in ways that feel natural rather than forced. They grow steadily instead of collapsing under pressure. This understanding changes the way you approach life. Instead of chasing every possibility, you focus on developing yourself and maintaining the peace that allows you to recognize the right moments when they appear. Your energy becomes directed toward growth instead of desperation. Your decisions become guided by clarity rather than confusion. The path that unfolds may not always be easy, but it carries a sense of meaning that keeps you moving forward with steady confidence.